Hey guys, it's Joanna, and today's video is going to be a review of several different face cleansers from the drugstore to the high end that I have been trying recently. And before I jump in though, my voice sounds stuffed because I am stuffed. I am dealing with a summer cold right now, which is quite unfortunate, but darn it, I'm gonna make a video! Yes, okay, so let's do this. So when it comes to cleansers, there are really three things that I look for. Two of them are more important for me, and the third thing is less important, but probably very important to many of you. So I'll just jump in. The first thing that I look for is that it is pH balanced, meaning that it's not going to be too harsh and stripping for my skin. So ideally you want a pH in that 5 to 6 kind of range, which is the natural pH of our faces. The next thing I look for is that it is fun to use. Similar to sunscreen, I find face cleansing to be a bit of a chore and kind of a thankless task. And so in that way, I really want to enjoy using a cleanser to incent me to actually use it for longer and clean my face better. So the enjoyment factor is huge for me when it comes to a cleanser. And then the third thing, probably most important to many of you, but less important to me, is how good it removes makeup. Obviously I care about whether or not it removes makeup, but for me, I don't wear a lot of makeup. Generally speaking, I've never had an issue with regular cleansers not removing my makeup, and if I am wearing a lot of makeup that day, I will just double cleanse with first a oil-based cleanser and then my second cleanse to really ensure that all of that is removed. A lot of the cleansers, of course, will also tout benefits like different extracts and different active ingredients, etc. But you know, it's a cleanser. You put it on your face and then you wipe it off pretty much immediately, and so the fact that, you know, something may include XYZ beneficial extract or ABC beneficial ingredient, you know, it's less important to me because honestly, like, how much is it really going to do in the minute, 30 seconds that you have it on your face? I don't know. I'm kind of like about that when it comes to cleansers. So that's just me though. Alright, so let's jump into the actual cleansers then. The first one that I have is the Cerave Hydrating Gentle Cleanser. It is readily available anywhere, really, Amazon, Target, Walmart, the drugstore, and it is very affordable. It's in the $10 to $12 range. It kind of varies depending on store and day. And all that is for 12 ounces. So I would say this is like $1 an ounce, pretty much. So in terms of the factors that I look for, one, it's pH balanced. Yes, this one is. It is in the kind of 5 to 6 pH range, perfect for skin. In fact, all of the cleansers I talk about today are going to be in that range. If you don't know about the cleanser you're using, you should really look into it. Do a quick Google search on it, or if you have the pH strips, you can test them yourself. So two, in terms of enjoyment of use, I really love the Cerave. It is one of the, I think, best bang for your buck kind of products. It is a gel. It doesn't foam or anything, so if you expect any kind of foaming, this one has none of it. But it's a really rich gel, and it kind of holds together, if you know what I mean. So you know how some products might initially, when you apply it to your skin and start washing, it might emulsify and turn into another consistency. The Cerave actually stays in that kind of gel-like consistency, and it does a fairly good job of removing all your makeup and sunscreen, etc. It is very pleasant to use. I really enjoy it, fragrance-free, and because it is very inexpensive, I use a lot of it. I usually do 1 to 2 pumps, like full pumps of this product versus some of the other products that I'll talk about where I'm a little bit more sparing just because, I don't know, I guess it's not as expensive, right? If I do have a lot of makeup though, I will need to do a double cleanse with this. This definitely does not do a great job of removing, particularly if you have like a long-lasting foundation, and I don't wear waterproof mascaras really that often, so I don't even have a good comparison point for this. But just an FYI, if you do that, you will definitely want to double cleanse with something first. So micellar water, oil-based cleanser, you pick. Overall, for the price and the value and the enjoyment that I get out of it, this is a definitely recommended product for me. I know some people have negative reactions to the CeraVe line, and there might just be some ingredient in there that does not suit your skin. So, you know, I do think though that everyone should try this product. Certainly don't write it off if you don't. There's no reason to if you haven't ever tried it before, right? So I would say everyone should try this because it is a great value and a really good product. Next up is the very similar La Roche-Posay Tolérien Gentle Face Hydrating Face Cleanser, or whatever it is called. The full name I'll insert in the frame here. Unfortunately, I don't have this bottle with me right now. I bought it several months ago. I used it consistently, really enjoyed it, but I do have a very good memory of what it was like, so I'll talk to it here, but certainly this is something that's, again, very comparable to the CeraVe. I would say the big difference is that this one feels a little bit more harsh on your skin. So even though it is still pH balanced, like I said, all of the cleansers today will be pH balanced, it does leave my skin feeling a little bit more dry, a little more irritated than with the CeraVe. And not in a negative way, but for example, right now, as you know, I'm sick, so this area around my nose is quite sensitive, and when I use a cleanser like that, I will actually feel a slight minor stinging around the areas of my skin that are already irritated. So that's the only thing, but it's very, you know, faint and quick. It doesn't last long or anything like that, so it is still a really nice product. The La Roche-Posay one does cost ever so slightly more than the Cerave. This one is priced around $15 for 13.5 ounces, so a little bit more than $1 an ounce, but still, again, very, very affordable and inexpensive. I would say the slight harshness of this product also actually means and shows that it does do a better job in removing the makeup. And I find with this one versus with the Cerave, where for sure I would need to do a double cleanse if I have more makeup on. This one, if I just kind of work with it a little longer, it does seem to eventually come off. But, you know, I would say that's the main difference is just the harshness and again, minor bit of harshness, and how well it works as its own separate cleanser if you're not going to do a double cleanse. When it comes to the La Roche-Posay versus the Cerave, the La Roche-Posay, from a texture and from the gentleness of it, I would say I prefer the Cerave a little bit more, but actually from ingredients, if that is something you care about, both of them have really nice ingredients. Both of them feature ceramides, which is naturally occurring on your face and it decreases as you age, and so the fact that these products are able to add a little bit more, even if they're just cleansers, is a nice thing. The La Roche-Posay actually also features some other nice ingredients like niacinamide and panthenol, which together are a better combo, and they increase the impact of the niacinamide, which is a great kind of brightening ingredient, and an ingredient in general that has a long history of research and evidence supporting the use for skin. So I would say the La Roche-Posay does have Cerave beat on those respects, but again, because it's a cleanser, you know, I'm always a little bit cautious when it comes to ingredients. The one thing though that is different in the ingredients is that the Cerave contains parabens. So if you are against parabens for whatever reason, the La Roche-Posay would be the better bet. So those are the only two drugstore products I'm going to talk about. I haven't used many other drugstore cleansers for a long time. If you have one that you really love, let me know what it is, because I'm definitely keen to try a few more. But at least for now, I just feel like every time I go back to the drugstore, I end up buying more Cerave or LRP. So let me know though if there's something that you think is excellent. So these next face washes are going to be from the more expensive end of the spectrum. The first one I have here is from a brand that I had never heard of before called Plant Apothecary, and it's called Wash Your Face. I did receive this to try, but not sponsored. Obviously, as usual, I would always disclose any of that. So this one comes in at $16 for 4 ounces, which is about 4x the cost of the Cerave, so definitely quite a bit steeper in price, but still, you know, $16 for this bottle, which I think actually will last me a pretty long time. It's not too bad. So I really did not expect to like this as much as I did. I'm generally a little bit like, ugh, this natural thing is just such a gimmick when it comes to skincare products, but I'm, you know, eating my words because I actually really did like this a lot. And if I were one of those people who were really keen on everything natural, this is a brand that I'd probably explore in a lot more depth. Here's what I really like about this product. So from the jump, again, pH balanced, the next point on enjoyment, it is a very oil-like texture when you apply it onto your skin. One of the primary ingredients in here is sunflower seed oil, and because of that, it actually does a really nice job of removing makeup. You know, anything that's oil-based tends to do a good job of makeup removal. There were no added fragrances, but a lot of the ingredients in here do have a fragrance of their own, and the impact actually is that it smells to me like ginger. I don't think ginger is actually part of the ingredients list, at least that I recall, but the impact when I use it is it reminds me of having like a Moscow Mule or something, and so it's very refreshing. I really actually enjoy using this in the mornings when I'm, you know, showering. I'll just, you know, use this in the shower, and it just feels like, that's a nice like wake up call. The other thing about this that really impressed me is just how clean it rinses off. So generally when it comes to oil-based cleansers, I use them as the first step in a double cleanse process because they don't rinse off that well, and I need something else to actually rinse off the oil. This one, miraculously, the oil rinses off really, really easily. I don't know, it almost leaves you with a squeaky clean kind of sensation when you rinse this off. It is super impressive, and that I think is the biggest draw for me to this product. Overall, I'm actually very impressed with this. The only downside of this is that it's not in a pump bottle, it's in this squeezy little bottle that I just don't really think is the best. The next three I talk about are going to be all kind of in the same price range. They're all roughly 6 times more expensive than the drugstore Cerave products. So I'll start first with the Drunk Elephant Beste or Beste Jelly Cleanser. $32 for 5 ounces is really like, you know, 6-7x more expensive than Cerave. In terms of the use, again, same to the Plant Apothecary. Not a fan of the squeezy tube kind of packaging. I think, again, pumps always will for cleansers are my preference. That aside, the actual texture of this is, you know, comes out like a very lightweight gel that then when you apply it has a mild foaming sensation on your skin. So it does foam a little bit. I mean, I do enjoy this, but I would say it's not my favorite, and it's nothing too special. I don't know. It's kind of like expected, I guess. It really doesn't wow me. It doesn't really do anything unexpected for me. It has a lot of nice ingredients, but like I've said about ingredients, when it comes to cleansers, do they really matter? It has, of course, its marula extract. It uses very mild surfactants to be the cleanser. It also has aloe juice, a lot of nice things. From the makeup removal process, it does actually do a better job, I would say, than a lot of cleansers, and I think that's because of the foaming. It does a nice job of removing the makeup. But as a result, again, similar to the Roche-Posay, this one feels a little bit more harsh to me. I would say overall it's okay, it's fine. For this price point and this, you know, experience, I'm kind of like a take it or leave it on this one. I really don't think I'd be buying this. So that's what I think. Alright, the next one I'm going to talk about is the Belif Oil Enriched Gel Cleanser. This one I've had actually for a long time, and I've been using it as my kind of first cleanse when I need it for a double cleanse. Now this one is again $34 for about just a little bit over 5 ounces, so it's kind of again in that $6 to $7 per ounce kind of category. So again, similarly priced to the Drunk Elephant. I think in Sephora you kind of have like several brands that are in the same price point. But as for the Belif, you know, this one is a really nice oil cleanser. It is, again, starts off with like a gel texture very similar to the Drunk Elephant, and then instead of foaming when you're putting it on your skin, it actually has a more oil-like texture. And as a result, it really does a nice job of removing makeup but still feeling very gentle in the process. Big pro, this one is in a pump. Yes, finally something in a pump. I don't know why they don't do more things in pumps, but anyway. The answer, of course, is always money. But anyway, that's another thing. So this one is a great kind of first cleanse in my opinion. But the big drawback for this is that versus some of these other products that I've been trying that are similar in terms of their efficacy for cleaning, this one leaves a film on your skin after you're done, and I feel like it's really hard to wash off, and it doesn't rinse like squeaky clean like the Plant Apothecary. As with all Belif products, this one also has a lot of nice ingredients and plant extracts. That's kind of their big thing, is this natural plant extract element. Overall, I think if you are going to be using this as a first cleanse, this is a great product. It really does a nice job of makeup removal. However, you know, the other products that I've been talking about kind of do it all, and this one really leaves that film on your skin that I don't like if I'm just using this as a single standalone cleanser. Alright, the last one in this price range I'm talking about is the Fresh Soy Cleanser. I have been a long time lover of Fresh. I've been, you know, especially all of their fragrance products like the perfumes and whatnot, but I've never actually used Fresh skincare before, so I was very excited to try this one. This one was also sent to me. I have this in the 20th anniversary packaging, whatever the heck that means. I mean, if people collect this packaging, I don't know. It is very cute though. Now for the Fresh Cleanser, this is, for this package anyway, it's $42 for 6.7 ounces. So it is, again, similar price point to the Drunk Elephant and to the Belif. So this one is actually very similar to the Plant Apothecary cleanser in terms of both the use, the texture, and the efficacy in terms of makeup removal. It is also an oil-based cleanser, I would say, but it removes totally cleanly from the face, unlike the Belif. So again, very similar to the Plant Apothecary, and it also makes sense because the ingredients have a lot of overlap with the Plant Apothecary. So for example, one of the main oils is also sunflower seed oil, which is in the Plant Apothecary. The main star, of course, with the soy cleanser naturally is soybean oil, which is shown to be very good for skin. It's an antioxidant, etc. But you know, again, take it with a grain of salt because it is a cleanser that you wash off right away. The big drawback for this one, other than the fact that it's not in a pump, you know how I feel about that, is the fact that it will also have added fragrance, and it is a stronger fragrance. I really like it. Unsurprisingly, I like a lot of Fresh's fragrances, so that's me though. But I think this one, if you are keen to try this, you should definitely try it. A sample of it first to make sure you are okay with the fragrance. It's kind of like a sweet, subtly fruity fragrance, I would say. I'm really bad at describing fragrance. This is why I am not a wine taste tester. But, you know, I again really like this. And overall, this product and the Plant Apothecary both are excellent. I would say of the bunch, these two bring me the most joy to use, you know, on par with the Cerave. They just are all really enjoyable to use. This one and the Plant Apothecary do a way better job of removing makeup versus the Cerave. You could use these as kind of standalone face cleansers without needing a second cleanse necessarily. Last on my list, and the most expensive, I definitely did not pay for this myself, this was also sent for me to try, is the Dr. Babor Detox Lipo Cleanser. I mean, that seems like it's doing a lot, right? It's detoxifying the skin. Is it doing liposuction? Is it going to be like removing my fat? I have no idea, but that's kind of the name. This one is $49 for a mere 3.38 ounces, which is about 14x more expensive than your Cerave. This is a product that I feel like is, you know, the case of sticking a doctor in front of a brand name and, you know, kind of guiling people into thinking that it's a lot more magical than it is, because looking at the ingredients, there's nothing special here. And I would say actually the big thing is that the very first ingredient, which I'm going to mispronounce, isostearate, I'm sure people can correct my pronunciation there. In costdna.com, it shows that this ingredient is actually pretty highly frequently cited as an acne irritant. The first ingredient in a cleanser is an acne irritant. That certainly does not give, you know, ringing endorsement for this product. I will say it is nice that it comes in a pump. And in terms of the actual use, I will also admit that this is a really fun product to use. It squeezes out like a gel, lightweight, watery gel, like most of the other things I've tried. But when you put it on your skin, it actually emulsifies into this milky texture, which is, I think it was really cool. It was like cool to see and fun to use. It does an okay job of removing makeup. I would say it is, you know, maybe a little bit better than Cerave, or on par roughly. It is a fun product, but at this price point I would really expect a lot more. And so for that, I really can't recommend this. I think I also have a hard time understanding what detox, lipo means in this context. It just feels like, you know, kind of keywords that are thrown in to attract a potential buyer, but not actually delivering on those promises. So this one, I think skip it. In general, I would say, you know, keep an eye out for these kind of like products that tout to do a lot more than maybe what is realistic, and just keep your senses about you when you're evaluating different choices. Alright, so that is it for this video. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen in my stories anyway that I shared with you that I have a huge Asian sunscreen haul, and I'll be making that Asian chemical sunscreen video very soon as I try out all of these different products that I have now. I'm super excited about that one, so definitely stay tuned for that if that's something that you're interested in. Alright, hope you guys have a nice rest of your day and week and everything, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!